Hi, so this is my third attempt at recording this video. It's 10:30, I'm tired, but I have the overwhelming pressure that I just want to put something out today. So here we go, attempt number 3. This is how you create a portrait of someone using text. We're going to split it half and half, so that this half is the image and this half will be text with the image showing through the text. Now, this is what attempt number 2 looked like, but I didn't really like it. I'll explain how I did it, but we're going to go into more depth. We're going to make it a little bit more difficult. So this won't be like a really easy guide like the other ones have been. Okay, so to start, we need the rulers. If you haven't got the rulers, then press Ctrl and R. That'll pop up, and then we can drag this to the center, and it'll snap like that. Okay, that's going to be important for when we crop a part of the image. So first we need text. This guy here, he's called Rue. He's from a band called Enter Shikari. They have a song called Undercover Agents, and I'm going to use the first verse to fill this space. So I'm going to quickly type that out. Right, that's the first 2 lines of the song, or 1 line, I guess, depending on whether you're reading the lyrics online or not, I guess. So what the plan was is we were going to mess about with this little panel here. This is the character panel. If you haven't got that on the side here, click Window and click Character, and that'll bring this guy up. So what we were going to do is just mess about with these. And I'd explain it to you, but I'm doing this in a different way now, but I'm still going to explain what these do. So this guy here, this is the space between the lines, so it does that basically. Increases and decreases the line, or the space between each line of the text. We've got this guy that increases the height of your text, and this here increases the width of your text. This guy here increases the space between each letter, or decreases, so you can like shove your words together like that. Right, so that was the plan. We were just going to mess about with that, but I'm going to make these all, whoa, I'm going to make these all the default ones, and instead we're going to make every letter, every word even, its own layer, and mess around with each one to fill the space better, because the first version, the second version, I just didn't like it. So I'm being a bit of a perfectionist, and we're just going to make it something that I like. So we'll start by right clicking and rasterizing, and then we're going to select each word, and then right click on the selection. We're using the square marquee tool, by the way. Right click and then layer via cut, and then we're going to go back to the original one, select the next word, layer via cut, back to the original, select the next word, layer via cut. I'm going to do that for every single word. Okay, so the reason that we're doing this and we're not just messing about with the character panel now is because we can get it to we can get the words to gel nicely together, whereas with the character panel everything was sort of constrained to a line. We couldn't rotate any of the words, which I kind of want to do. So yeah, that's why everything's on its own layer. So a wise person would name every layer after the word that's associated with that layer, but I'm not going to do that because the move tool here has this handy little feature here called auto select, and that means that whatever layer you're currently on, you can just click something that you want and it will automatically change it to that layer so that you can move. So when we're moving these things about, I just need to click and then it's going to change it to that layer that we want anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using the transform tool. We'll start with revolution, and so what that does is you press Ctrl and T, it brings up this little box around the word, and we can do this. If you hold in Shift, it keeps it all in a nice straight line. If you hold Shift and Alt, then it moves out both sides at the same time from this little center circle. You can do it with that as well. You can do it with that as well. So what I want to do is I want to put revolution right at the bottom here, and I want it to take up quite a bit of space. Okay, so that's revolution done. I want park. How do I want this? Right, I want park to fill this space here. I'm going to move and down here. Car we're going to have underneath here, so I'm going to make that fill there, and I'm going to click on ER and make that fill here like that, and we'll make that fill there. We'll lower this down a little bit. So park your car and come on up. How do I want this? So the benefit of this as well is you can just click and drag the words to where you want to be. You can sort of like mock them up. Whereas if you're just using all one text tool on one layer, you wouldn't be able to do that. Up, I think we're going to switch that, and I might have it here, and I'll just see where this goes. I'm just going to fill in the gaps basically. You can use the arrow keys as well while you're transforming something, and it'll slowly move everything around for you. Right. Do I want the and to be wide? It's a little bit like what we're doing there though. What about if we make that thin? We'll put that around there, and it'll sort of look balanced on this line. Like that. Right, and then these two. Right, we're going to select both of these layers. So we're clicking on this, that's the layer that says my, and then we're going to hold Shift and click on that, and that's going to select the other layer. So both of them are selected, and then we can do that to both letters, to both words even. Now I'm going to drag that down, and I want to balance this bit out by filling that space, and then we'll have plan and A, those two layers. We'll have that in there as well. In fact, can we, yeah, we'll drag that down there and then just fill that space. There we go. So if we, let's invert the background by clicking on the background. You can hold in Control and I, that'll flip the color around so it goes from white to black. Yeah, that looks alright. That looks better than it did. Okay. Once you're happy with it, select the bottom layer, hold Shift and select the top layer. That's going to select the top layer and everything in between it. Right click, merge layers. Now that is its own layer. So we need a backup of this layer. We'll duplicate that, and now we've got our little backup and the copy. So we'll hide the backup. We'll hide the backup. We'll rasterize this layer, which means that we can get rid of some of it, and then we need to select everything except these letters. So on the layer for your words, just click anywhere except the letters. If you've got contiguous turned off, it's going to get in all these little gaps as well. Now we'll hide that layer. You can see that everything except here is still selected. We'll go down to this layer, keeping the selection, and we'll press delete. Like that. You can deselect as well with Control and D. So there's one half of the image done, and the next part of the image is super simple. We'll bring back that layer, rasterize this, use the square marquee tool, and that'll snap to this little line that we set up in the beginning. That's why we did it. And then we're just going to delete that. There we go. You can change the background back to white with Control and I, or you can keep it black. It's up to you. So there you go. There's some word art that was more difficult than I'd originally planned, but you know, that's life. We're going to do a slightly different version of pretty much the same thing, but with a word cloud instead. So if you don't want to do all of this, if this is a little bit too confusing, then a word map might be right up your street instead. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see that next video. Please hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.